Hello and welcome to the channel. This is CBSE Class 10 English Language and Literature Lesson 5 Footprints Without Feet. Footprints Without Feet is a story about a scientist named Griffin who discovers how to make himself invisible by taking rare drugs. However, instead of using his discovery for good, he misuses it. Griffin is a lawless person who sets fire to his landlord's house to escape after a dispute. To avoid being seen, he removes his clothes, becoming a homeless, invisible wanderer in the cold London winter. His footprints in the mud reveal his presence to two boys, but he escapes them. To stay warm, Griffin sneaks into a store, steals clothes, food, and wine, and sleeps there. When store assistants arrive, he panics, removes his clothes, and becomes invisible again to escape. Later, he visits a theatrical shop in Drury Lane where he steals bandages, glasses, a false nose, whiskers, and a hat to disguise his invisibility. So he also robs the shopkeeper. Seeking solitude, Griffin travels to the village of Epping and stays at an inn run by Mrs. Hall. His strange appearance and behavior make Mrs. Hall think he is an eccentric scientist. Griffin soon runs out of money and steals from the clergyman's study, causing suspicion. Strange events occur at the inn, like furniture moving on its own, which Mrs. Hall describes is caused by spirits. When confronted by Mrs. Hall about these incidents, Griffin angrily reveals his invisibility by removing his disguise, shocking everyone. The village constable, Mr. Jaffers, tries to arrest him, but Griffin escapes by becoming fully invisible, leaving chaos behind. The story Footprints Without Feet by H.G. Wells is about a brilliant but lawless scientist named Griffin who discovers a way to make himself invisible. He uses rare drugs to make his body transparent like glass but still solid. Instead of using this power of good, Griffin misuses it for selfish and criminal acts. The story begins in London during a cold winter. Two boys see fresh muddy footprints of bare feet appearing on the steps of a house and then moving down the street. They are surprised because there is no visible person making them. The footprints get fainter and disappear. The mystery is that these footprints belong to Griffin, the invisible scientist. He had been experimenting for years to become invisible. After succeeding, he had a fight with his landlord who wanted to throw him out. In revenge, Griffin set fire to the house. To escape without being seen, he took off all his clothes, becoming completely invisible but also naked and homeless. He had no money and was wandering the streets in the freezing cold. He stepped in mud which made his footprints visible, and that's how the boys spotted them. Griffin managed to shake off the boys and continue. To escape the cold, Griffin sneaks into a big London store after closing time. He enjoys himself by stealing warm clothes like shoes, an overcoat, and a wide brimmed hat, making himself visible again. He also eats cold meat, coffee, sweets, and drinks wine from the store without paying. He sleeps on a pile of quilts, but he oversleeps. And the next morning, store assistants arrive. When they see him, Griffin panics and runs. They chase him, so quickly removes all his clothes to become invisible again and escapes naked into the January court. Next, Griffin decides he needs a better disguise to hide his invisible head and body. He goes to Drury Lane, a theater area, and finds a shop with costumes. Invisible, he goes upstairs and steals bandages for his face, dark glasses, and a false nose, big, bushy side whiskers, and a large hat. To get money, he attacks the shopkeeper from behind and robs him. Now disguised, Griffin looks like a strange, bandaged man, but he can move around without showing his invisibility. Wanting to escape the crowded city and work in peace, Griffin takes the train to a small village called Epping. It's winter, so a stranger arriving is unusual. He looks two rooms he books two rooms at the local inn run by Mrs. Hall and her husband, Mr. Hall. So Mrs. Hall is the innkeeper's wife and tries to be friendly, but Griffin is rude and wants solitude. He tells her he came for privacy to do his work, and that an accident hurt his face. Explaining his bandages, Mrs. Hall thinks he is an eccentric, means a strange scientist, and accepts his and accepts him because he pays in advance with the stolen money. Griffin's stolen money runs out soon. He says he is waiting for a check, but secretly he needs more cash. One early morning, he becomes invisible and sneaks into the nearby clergyman's house. The clergyman and his wife hear noises in the study room, like the sound of money clinking. The clergyman grabs the poker and opens the door, shouting surrender, but the room looks empty. They search everywhere, under the desk, behind curtains, even up the chimney, but find no one. However, the desk is open and their housekeeping money is gone. It's a mystery burglary done by the invisible Griffin. Later that morning, strange things happen at the inn. Mrs. Hall and her husband wake up early and see Griffin's room door wide open, which is unusual because He always keeps it locked. They go in to check. The bed is cold, meaning Griffin has been out for a while. His clothes and bandages are scattered around. Suddenly, Mrs. Hall hears a sniff near her ear. Then, a hat on the bedpost jumps off and hits her face. Next, the bedroom chair moves on its own, springs into the air, and pushes them out of the room with its legs. The door slams shut and locks by itself. Mrs. Hall is terrified and hysterical, thinking spirits or ghosts have entered her furniture. She remembers her mother used to sit in that chair and moans about it rising against her. The neighbors think it's witchcraft. News of the clergyman's burglary spreads, and people suspect Griffin because he suddenly has money again after saying he had none. The village constable, Mr. Jaffers, is called secretly, but before he arrives, Mrs. Hall confronts Griffin about the strange events in his room, like how he came out of an empty room and entered a locked one, and what he did to her chair. Griffin gets very angry and shouts that she doesn't know who he is. To show her, he quickly removes his bandages, whiskers, glasses, and false nose. In just a minute, the people in the inn's bar see a headless man. Everyone is horrified. Mr. Jaffers arrives to arrest Griffin for the burglary. He is surprised to see a man without a head, but says he must arrest him anywhere. He must arrest him anyway as per the warrant. A chaotic fight starts. Griffin throws off more clothes to become fully invisible. Jaffers and others try to grab him, but they can't see him. They get hit by invisible blows. People shout, "Hold him!" but Griffin shakes free. In the end, he knocks Jaffers unconscious and escapes invisible into the unknown. The story ends with Griffin free, but his adventures far from over, showing how he misused his great discovery. This tale teaches that scientific discoveries should be used wisely, not for crime or revenge. Thank you very much for watching till the end. If you find it helpful, useful, please like, share, comment to this video, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel. It will be very helpful for us. Thank you very much.